Hey everybody, how's it going? Tooth here. A while back, I did a video talking about barrels and twist rates and all that stuff. My personal experience, what I was finding. Excuse me. Mowed the yard yesterday and was doing some more yard work today. Sinuses are getting me. So I figure we kind of come back and touch on that a little bit. I'm sorry about the shaking. Hit the stand, have stuff leaning on it. So I'm going to try to remember as much about this one as I can. I wasn't a big fan of AR-15s for a long time. I didn't really see the point in them. Didn't fit the bill for anything I was really doing until a particular hog hunt I went on, and that's kind of what got me delved off down that hole. But this is the first one I bought. Bought it back in 2008, 2009. I've had various different type of optics on here. It's an 18-inch barrel, 1-in-9 twist rate. And one of the things I found out about this, light loads, 55 grain to even had some 57 grains and up to 63 grain custom loads and stuff like that I tried over the years. Once I started pretty much breaking the 62 grain, which is most common, and getting higher, and that's not counting M855 as being accurate by any means. But Full Metal Jackets or Hollow Point 62 grains, Frontier used to have some, and I had some loaded for me at one point in time. But 55 grain is where this thing really shined out, pulling shots out to 4 or 5 and occasionally out to 600 yards. Optics that have been on this, iron sights, EOTech 550 with a 3x magnifier, primary orange 5x prism scope, and a regular scope that lived on here for a long time, a $200 scope from Centerpoint. It did great for coyote hunting, but it did break, I will say that, eventually. Wouldn't hold zero anymore. But several shots were pulled off with this gun at distance with 55 grain. That is what I kind of started to notice, talking with other people, is like, really want a little bit more. 55 grain VMAX performed great out of this. And this is a DPMS, by the way, 100% DPMS, but from back in the day. I know a lot of people talk trash on them. I had no problems out of it, and the gun was utterly freaking abused. But like I said, we were pulling out shots, 4 or 5, maybe 6 on a consistent basis, using a 55 grain VMAX was the primary ammo that was ran through there. We had no issues with it. I'm really wanting to say with those VMAXs from Hornady, we were doing 1.5. And once I started breaking the 62 grain and getting up into the 77, the 68s and 69s, all that good stuff, 75s, the gun or the barrel was not liking that type of ammo. So sat down, did a little research, started looking into some things. Wanted to get away from the 55 grain, especially the VMAX stuff. Once again, because I went hog hunting with a buddy and I shot a hog and it laughed at me, and it wasn't that big of a hog. So then I wound up trying 16-inch 1-in-8 twist. This one was actually doing pretty decent, except for 5.56 NATO style loads. For whatever reason, my hand loads that I was making at the time, or had friends make for me at the time, if I ran the pressures up beyond 223 pressures into the 5.56 range, this barrel was not liking it. Now it did on 223 rounds, handling pretty much from 55 grain up to 77 grain. Wasn't too bad. I mean, there was a couple of times and a couple of rounds we got out there, but we were getting 2 inches or less with pretty much all 223 rounds out of this barrel. It wasn't that accurate. And this barrel actually came from Anderson Manufacturing, so it's not the best barrel on the market, and Anderson's gone anyway, so you don't have to worry about it. But this is the 223 wild chambering. That's just been my personal experience with a 223 wild barrel. I don't know if Anderson actually made this barrel or if it's just what they got their hands on and put in the gun. But what I found out when I was shooting other people's guns and playing with it, starting to delve off into the AR-15 world and AR-10 world, is that the 5.56 rounds were putting more thump on a target, or energy on impact, muzzle energy, whatever you want to call it. So talking with a couple people, then I wound up getting a Ballistic Advantage 1-in-7 5.56 NATO chambering. The cool thing about with the 1-in-7 twist rate, the cool thing what I found with the 1-in-7 twist rate, it's actually kind of don't give a damn really what the ammo is. It's going to shoot what group it's going to want to shoot. Yes, it's going to like certain loads over other loads, but I'm able to put decent size. What I noticed, XM193 55 grain 5.56 high pressure, 223 55 grain VMAX low pressure, all the way up to doing the same thing to the 77 OTM match. I was able to do the same, pretty much the same size grouping. They would get smaller, but I didn't have anything over 1.75 inches. That was what I noticed about the 1-in-7 twist rate. And this is another 16-inch barrel. So I was sitting there and I was thinking about that, and I was like, cool. So all the AR-15s I build nowadays, if anybody asks me, what do you recommend? I'm not going to recommend a barrel manufacturer to you unless you got money to spend, because there's only one real barrel company out there that I would say I would really support, and that's Excalibur Arms. Thing is, they're expensive and you have a lead time because the barrels are made to order. And I've been really happy with them. Their customer service has done great. Mommy, I've had a couple of builds, one of my own and a couple that I've done for other people. And we're doing sub MOA groups all day long with those barrels. I've phenomenally 100% happy with them. So we started doing, I was putting 5.56 together, from guns together for myself, for other people, and always 1-in-7 twist rate. Companies I would say look at, Roscoe does a good job, Faxon does a good job, FN does a good job. There's several lower bottom market AR-15 barrels out there. Manufacturers, I say, do really good. Bang for the buck right now for me has been FN if it's on sale, and Roscoe Barrel Manufacturing has been really good. I've actually shot one of their barrels out and in the process of getting ready to replace it. So for shits and grins, I wanted to build an AR-10. This is the first AR-10 I built. It's an Aero M5. The only thing different from Aero's M5 build sheet that we did, I forget what muzzle device this is, to be 100% honest with you, but we went with a Faxon barrel that has the linear cuts in it to lighten it. 168 grain, 175 grain, this gun likes. Now, one of the things you're going to notice about those loads, to get decent ammo for that, you're going to spend some money. You're looking at over $1 a round. And I was, after using this gun, liking this gun, playing with it, I was like, I really do like this platform. I do like this setup. Once we got it running where it has no mess ups, no misfeeds or anything like that, doing the very little gas work to it, definitely doing some tuning to it and everything along those lines. This gun runs 100% reliable, has not had any issues. 2 to 10 PST Gen 2 on here, pretty decent scope, can't complain on it. The barrel twist rate is 1-in-10. So I got and going to the range, I was like, well, it's an AR-15, it's a military style rifle, we'll use M80 ball, 147, 150 grain. What I found out with it is it does not like that ammo. It will shoot 2, 3, 4-inch groups, depending on what ammo manufacturer I get. It is the exact same thing as my Remington 700 SPS. They both like the exact same ammo. The Remington 700 SPS is a 20-inch barrel, 1-in-10 twist rate, 168 grain Federal. They really do like that one. Really good, both guns do. but neither one of those guns like light lows. Once you start getting below 160 on them, the groups start going nuts. M80 ball is freaking horrible through it. So I did a little research, started looking around, and I'm like, I'd like to be able to use M80 ball for nuisance hunting and stuff like that and save money, because sometimes some of the places we go, when we go hog hunting or coyote hunting, you're pulling multiple shots in one sitting. I've come up over a hill down in southern Oklahoma, northern Texas, and there'll be 15 hogs down there, and you're trying to take out as many hogs as possible and one go at it. Bolt action gun really wasn't cutting it. 5.56 guns were good, but I wanted to have a little more thump. That's where the AR-10s came into play. And then also finding out I want to shoot cheaper ammo, I did some research. So I looked at military rifles, the 240 Bravo, M1A1 or M14 as it's also called. They've got a 1 in 12 twist rate. So I decided to spend some money and take some time out and build one. So here's another AR-10 that I built. Nothing fancy. The only thing really different between this one is it's got a 3-18 scope on it. We've zeroed it, kind of talked about it a little bit. I've even bumped it around quite a bit lately, and it's still holding zero. Went from an 18-inch to a 16-inch barrel on this AR-10, and it has a 1 in 12 twist rate, just like a 240 Bravo or an M14 or M1A1. And it will shoot M80 ball. I can do a 1-inch group, or roughly a 1-inch group, all day long with this gun. Now, when I first put this gun together, it did, just for shits and grins and playing around, I put some 168s, 175 Norma, a couple of other heavier rounds through it, even 180, and it did not like it. So I went out to the range. We're starting to get ready for deer season. It's October, November's deer season. So starting to get guns ready, sight them in, get them ready for the loads that we're getting ready to do. I inadvertently grabbed a magazine for the first AR-10 you looked at and stuck it in the newer AR-10 with 168 grain Federal. Like I said, at first, this gun did not like it at all. And I don't think I have that piece of paper here, but I got everything I could set up to take me out of the equation for zeroing on all the guns that are going to go to deer camp, 2 for myself and probably a couple of others for some buddies who are coming in, getting everything set up. With the Blue Box Federal, last year, you can go back and look at it, this AR-10 was doing quarter size groups at 100 yards with the 1 to 8 LPVO on it. Then, so that was the Blue Box Federal 150 grain soft point. Phenomenal. Went out there to go re-zero it. Wasn't liking it too much. I was like, what the hell? I mean, I was still doing less than 1-inch group, but went back out. I don't know, it was the ammo, if I got a bad batch of ammo or what was going on, but I'd have one that was dime size group, or not dime size, quarter size to half dollar size group, and then another group would open right up. So I was sitting there playing with it, and inadvertently I grabbed the magazine for the other AR-10. It had 168 in it, shot a group, and literally put just over a nickel size group on paper at 100. I was like, that's kind of odd. Once I figured out what happened, I was like, okay, because I started looking for markings on casings, and that's when I figured out, oh, this is 168 grain Federal hollow point. So I was like, it's a fluke. So I shot it again and repeated the process. So in doing that, what I'm going to do is I am going to go to the range Monday, since it is a holiday. After, it'll be the second part of this video. And I want to see, basically what I want to find out, if this 1 in 12 twist rate on this is kind of like a 1 in 7 twist rate on a 5.56 gun. So we have some 150, 168, 163, 175 grain ammo. I don't know how many consistency of it I'm going to have, but I am going to go pick up some more, try to pick up some more ammo, another box or two of different loadings. And I want to see if the 1 in 12 twist rate on the AR-10 is like the 1 in 7 twist rate on a 5.56 gun. Because I really find myself, I mean, I know where the 1 in 9 twist rate came from. That was for civilian purchased AR-15s. And it was a known fact it wasn't going to like heavy loads, which the military liked to use at that time. So, and then 1 in 7 became available to the public. The 1 in 8 was a deal that came out for the AR-15s to be kind of in the middle barrel, and I don't think it met it. I mean, I haven't shot one that has said it's nice enough for me to say, okay, that's cool, let's run that. And I've shot different manufacturers of 1 in 8s on a couple of builds I've put together here. I've just not been happy with the 1 in 8. 1 in 7 is where I've been happy all the time. 5.56 anyway. So yeah, just a little comparison I want to run. So I'm going to take both AR-10s out, and what I want to do is I want to put 147 grain, 150 grain, 168 grain, and I think I still got some 175 or 180 Norma. I'm going to run through both guns. So we'll do a pattern check and see if what I'm thinking is correct or if I'm just blowing smoke up my own butt thinking I found something. So, not going to spend a whole lot of money doing videos here lately. Government shutdown. I ain't getting paid. So, but anyway, I just thought that was something I came across. I thought I would share it. I have had a couple people coming up to me lately. They're not really wanting AR-15s. They've been wanting AR-10s. For the most part, they're doing hunting. Sorry while I'm putting this back together. So they're more or less wanting to put a hunting gun together. And so I figure we kind of delve off back into the AR-10 here a little bit. So there we go. That's my idea what I want to run with. So after we get done doing that, we'll see what happens. Y'all take it easy. I'll catch you on the second half. All right. So 1 in 12, 1 in 10 twist rates, all that good stuff. First up, Blue Blocks Federal 150 grain. 18-inch, 1 in 10 twist rate, factory general, standard twist rate. Everything will be a 5-shot group minus the nozzler. I don't have enough ammo, so it'll get a 4-shot group. Next one up for the 1 in 10 is the Nosler 175s. 4-shot group coming up. Pull that one a little bit. All right. Center top, 168 Federal match. Hot shot group. I'm gonna get in there, fucker. Federal M80 bowl, center bottom. More of this scope, just don't like this scope. This might be the best group I've ever shot with M80 ball out of this gun. PPU 180, top right. Dang it. Help him take safety off. Last grouping of this one, Remington UMC 150 grain. And that will be our bottom right. That takes care of this gun. Let's move on to the next one. All right, switched over to the 16-inch 1 12 twist rate. Let's see how it goes. Top left, Federal blue box. Oh, come on now. I have to do some. Oh, I forgot to adjust the bipod. No wonder. There we go. Sorry about taking so long to get lined up. Alright, what was the next one? Nozzlers. 4-shot group, bottom left. And that's it. 175 grains. .168 Federal. Center top. I pulled that one. M80 ball, Federal, center bottom. Got a couple of flyers on that one. All right, top right. PPU 180 grain. Yeah, let's try this mag. A little easier to work with the shorties. Top right, 180 PPU. That one's wild. Alright. Last grouping. Remington USMC 150 grain. Bottom right, USMC, Remington USMC 150 grain. And this is gonna make a liar out of me today. A little bit of mirage off the bowler. Alright, we'll go pull targets and look at them. Alright folks, we're back at the house using my benchtop freezer that I use to work on stuff to finish out this video. So it started to rain, metal roof on a tin, got real loud and all that good stuff. So just how this is working out, everything minus the nozzler is a 5-shot group at 100 yards using MPVOs. We have a Vortex 2.5 to 10, and then we have a SIG 3 to 18. Both have pretty much the same size bells. Both are 34 millimeter tubes. And I can tell you the 2 to 10 and 2 to 18 as far as magnification didn't really have too much of an effect on trying to print tight groups, because if you go back and you look at my other videos last year where we were talking about getting ready for deer season and finding what ammo to use, I was using a 1 to 8 and I was producing half-inch and smaller groups with certain types of ammo. So here we go. Plus you'll see a point of it here in a minute what I'm talking about. So right off the bat, first group shot, Blue Box Federal. Off first target, I'm sorry, is the 1 in 10 twist rate 18-inch barrel. So Blue Box Federal, 150 grain. Generally, out of all 1 in 10 twist rates, this is generally the group pattern I look at. I would call that a 2-inch group. I mean, I do have a flyer over here. That's probably me. I'm not going to lie about it. But yeah, that's generally that type of deal. Next grouping we have is 175 grain Nosler. Basically, it's the same thing the military is going to issue for DMR or sniper type rolls. I spent some money on that. Minus this one right here. Granted, this is a 4-shot group. That's a half-inch group, but with that one, that's roughly about a 1-inch group. Pretty good. Especially with me shooting. Of course, the gun I'm shooting is not mine. It's someone else's. It just lives here, and I'm not a fan of the gun, to be 100% honest with you. So we'll go top center, 168 grain Federal. Now this group kind of threw me for a loop. It usually shoots this a lot better, a whole lot better. But I'm winding up with roughly a 3-inch group right here. If I would have had more, I would have given this another round to go on, just to confirm what's going on. But it really did start to open up. And like I was making the point, the magnification part, I don't think it really makes a whole lot of difference in here because center bottom Federal 147 grain M80 ball. There's 4 shots, 1 flyer on me. So this right here just made me a liar, especially due to a comment I made on someone else's video when they were talking about AR-10s and prepared citizen usefulness for them. Generally, I just hunt with these things, but you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. But yeah, there you go. Really tight shot group. Really freaking happy with that. PPU. Man, I've not been able to get this PPU 180 grain to work too well out of anything. Pretty much does this across the board. So it is what it is. I think the SPS will tighten it up to about a 2-inch group instead of this almost a 1 to 3-inch group is what we're getting right here. And all trigger pulls felt good. I didn't feel like I pulled anything on this one. So there you go. Last group for the 18-inch 1 in 10 twist rate. There you go. Remington UMC 150 grain. There you go. 3-inch group. Pull that out of the way. And we'll kind of leave this up here. We slide this over a little bit. Hang on a second. There we go. Slide this over a little bit for comparison. So now we've gone off into the other gun. 1 in 12 twist rate, 16-inch barrel. I know barrel length is a big thing when it comes to velocity, and some of these bullets depend on velocity to accurize. But I think we're just kind of trying to prove a mild point here, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. So 150 grain blue box. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty decent little group, minus the one I threw down here. That gives us about a 2-inch, 2.5-inch group compared to the 150 grain over here. I mean, other than that flyer, it's pretty close, but a little tighter with the 1 in 12 twist rate. So now we'll come down here, 4-shot group with 175 Nosler. I was really surprised it did this, to be 100% honest with you. I was expecting all 4 corners of the big diamond to be touching. I was not expecting this shot group that tight. Really starting to wonder about some of this Federal ammo I'm getting. I will say this: I did go back and reshoot another group with the 16-inch 1 and 12 twist, and it did tighten up. Didn't tighten up as much as I wanted it to, but it did tighten up. But here we go, center left or center bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I guess I pulled these two, but there you go. Nowhere near as tight as the 1 in 10 twist rate, which really blew my mind. Usually it shoots a lot tighter than this. Shooting the second group, it did tighten up. It got into an 1.5 to 2 inch group. I should have took a picture of it, and I didn't do it. But this is something I really wanted to look at, and I thought was rather interesting. Point of aim for the 16-inch 1 and 12 twist rate. 18-inch tight grouping. Point of aim is all the way up here. So you're 1, 2, 3, 4 inches low. So we had a huge shift in point of impact. I just thought that was really odd. And you're going to notice that in another section here in a minute ago. 168 grain Federal Gold Box. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I put one high on accident. Really tight group, really freaking impressed with that. And this is where that gun, the 16 inches, get to make a liar out of me too, because it used to not do this, but it's something it started doing here the past few times out at the range. All right, PPU 180. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 1 drop. Once again, 3 inch group, 4 inch group. I mean, the grouping's a little better than over here on the 1 and 10, but still nothing to really write home about mama. All right, Remington UMC 150 grain. Usually this gun does a little better with it, but I was starting to pick Mirage up off the suppressor. That might be something else to think about too. But one gun's suppressed, one gun's not suppressed. I probably should have done it without a suppressor. But I could not get the suppressor off. I didn't have the wrench to do it, honestly. But here's an interesting thing. I mean, not a good grouping. I did shoot it again. I did get it down to an 1.5 inch group. And I should have took a picture of it so I could put it in the video. And like I said, it was starting to rain. It was starting to get crowded out there. I thought I'd be the only one out there today. But here's another interesting fact. Point of aim, drifting high. I mean, coming up high compared to the 150 grain, 147 grain M80 ball. But you come over here to the 1 in 10 twist rate, look at it again. Point of aim is here. All the point of impacts are 3 inches low. I just thought that was really weird. So give me a second. We kind of covered this as far as the accuracy point goes and point of shift. And we'll kind of go over the builds of the gun real quick. I'll get them set up so we can look at them. All right, so I'm going to try and blow through this real quick. Just kind of cover some specs on this one. So this is not my gun. This is my son's gun. There are some things on here I don't like about it. One, I'm not a fan of the stock. The scope does okay. I haven't had too many issues out of it other than the turrets don't lock and there's no zero stop on here. It's just spins and spins. And I had to zero it again once I got out to the range. I guess he took it out and he was doing it. So here's the build process on this one. All in all, for the most part, this is an Aero M5 build, AR-10 308. Nothing fancy. With the optic and everything on it, I'm wanting to say there's somewhere between $2,000 and $3,000 into the gun. The only thing we didn't do is we didn't use the ballistic advantage barrel that was pretty much laid out in the M5 build. We went with a lightweight Faxon fluted barrel, which was a smart move because this gun, for what it is, isn't that bad. I am going to say we're under 9 pounds as it sits right now. We probably getting close to 9, but there you go. That's that gun. and we will get the other gun set up and go over it real quick. I know I made the comment. I know barrel length does have a deal to play, but I don't think it's with what we're trying to do, printing groups. I don't think the barrel length has too much of a play because there's a lot of DMR rifles, and the military has several models that have an 18-inch and all that good stuff. So anyway, there you go. We'll get to the next gun. All right, so here's the other AR-10. Sorry about the tools out. I was working on some guns last night. So here we go. A5 buffer tube. Both of them have this has an Odinworks buffer in it, the adjustable one, maxed out all the way, with a heavy duty spring in it, where the other one has the regular AR-10 buffer and buffer spring in it. So A5, both of them have Aero mil-spec triggers in them. Both of them have Aero BCGs in them. This one is the 16-inch 1 in 12 twist rate from Excalibur. It's a custom barrel. It had to be made to order and all that. And I've been really happy with this gun. To be 100% honest with you, this was built to be more of a battle rifle type situation deal than anything. Just because it was me and some guys goofing around one day to see what we came up with, and the gun just turned out to do so much more than what it was capable of originally. It had a primary arms SLX 1-8 on here. We went out to shoot at Longshot Ranch, and it had me upgrade to a different scope. I was wanting to get the Trijicon Credo 1-10 and throw on here, but right now I'm running the SIG Tango, or the Tango DMR 3-18 by 44. So this scope is not going to live on this gun. It is going to go away, and I am going to get the Credo and put it on here eventually. 44 millimeter tube, all of that good stuff. I'm sorry, not 44, 34 millimeter tube. The eye relief on that scope is exceptional. It is, even all the way turned up to 18, you get a really good eye box in there. Really surprising. OSS, or Huxworth Flocan suppressor. I don't think the suppressor is going to have anything to do with the whole accuracy thing. I've got to readjust the wrap again. It keeps trying to come off. Getting ready to throw it in the damn trash. I'm about tired of it. So, I mean, that's it. That's both guns. The 18-inch barrel, 16-inch barrel, 1 in 12 twist rate, and then 1 in 10 twist rate. So I think that's going to cover the build. So I will get to the other part here in just a second. I got to pick up some stuff. I just figured we'd knock out some final thoughts real quick. I'm just still sitting here looking at these targets, dumbfounded of how they turned out. Generally in the past, I started this video just because, one, I thought it would be fun. One, the Aero M5 build, I'm wanting to say there's $2,500 to $3,000 in that gun. Granted, the 16-inch, when I built it and I was able to buy the custom barrel for it, is I had leftover parts laying around. At one point in time, I think really the only part I had to purchase was the uppers and the lowers. And no, they're not Aero. They are off the wall. One is an Anderson. The upper's an Anderson, and the lower is a Right to Bear Arms. Both of them were ordered on I think it was Right to Bear Arms website, to be honest with you. And they had a sale going on. And for both of them, I spent just over $100 on the upper and lower for that one gun, and then $450 for the custom barrel. But the custom 16-inch gun, I went through, priced everything out, and to build it the way it is, if you didn't just have parts laying around, is right around the $1,500 mark. Now, there are other AR-10s out there on the market. Some of them have come through here and needed a lot of work. Looking at Ruger, SFAR, man, I don't know what's going on over there, But now I've had to do quite a bit of buffer spring work, even poured out one of the gas ports on a barrel on one for being, because once we got everything else functioning right, then we're getting short stroke cycles, and to get the gun to seat right, it is a pain in the butt. It was a lot of work we had to do. I've seen guys buy the rifle speed adjustable gas blocks and put on them. Neither one of these AR-10s have adjustable gas blocks. They are opened up. So the 16-inch is running the carbine length gas system, and the 18-inch is running a mid-length gas system. So both direct impingement guns. With both builds, as far as short stroking or any of that going on, with the parts that are in them, they are 100% reliable, have not had any issue. But finishing up, looking at this, I made a comment on someone else's video because they were talking about they have they have some PSA sabers, and they were talking about SHTF type stuff and all of that type of deal going around. And I was like, well, hey man, I've got a barrel that's a 1 in 12 twist rate on an AR-10, and I'm getting ready to drop this video. But with that being said, if any of those people from that channel do come over here, I am going to go ahead and say I am not right all the time. Looking at these targets, these guns kind of made a liar out of me. The only thing I can say right now, advantage-wise, is on grouping on targets. Yeah, some of the rounds are grouping better than what they should have out of their guns. Like the 147 grain out of a 1 in 10 twist rate, I've never gotten it to group that tight. That is stupid tight for that round, especially being M80 ball. And even with the 1 in 12 twist rate, I was not getting that type of a group. I was getting a 1 to 1.5 with the Federal Blue Box with the 1 in 10 twist rate. Generally what I get. Today, I guess it was just me not shooting good, but that's generally a half MOA round on 1 in 12 twist rate. The 168 grain is something that blew my mind. That has something that just started happening on the 1 in 12 16-inch with the 1 in 12. Used to, when I first put that gun together, I would run it through there just to see what would happen, and I was getting 2-inch groups pretty consistently. And now they're dialing in the dime size groups minus a flyer, which is me, to be 100% honest with you. But what I'm seeing as an advantage for the 1 in 12 over the 1 in 10 twist rate is the shifts in point of impact depending on the ammunition. So like right here, 1 in 12 twist rate, the 147 grain. See if I can get everything in here. Here's our point of aim, and we're pretty much around it, minus these two flyers. 168 grain, we're right there within an inch of where we were aiming. Other than the scope being set up for, looks like 168 grain or 150, 147 M80 ball is what I zeroed it with last, just for grins, because I was using it for coyote hunting. But generally the 150, it's a lot tighter than this, and I did get a tighter group on a second shot with it. But as far as elevation goes, we're not seeing a whole lot of shifting with, other than the shooting high with the UMC. And you go over here to your 1 in 10 twist rate barrel. So point of aim on the 150 or 147 mm ball is up here. We have a huge drop. And then the 150 grain UMC, another point of aim here, another huge drop. So my final thoughts on it, depending on what's going on, I'm thinking the 1 in 12 twist rated barrel is probably the best way to go. I do want to buy another one of these and get an 18-inch and spend a little bit more money. 450 was my budget on the barrel I had this time around. It's nitrided, it's all that good stuff. So 11-degree button or all that good stuff that you can get minus. I really wanted to get it chrome lined, but that was another $100-$200 I didn't have to spend at the time. But like I was saying, sorry I sidebarred. With the 1 in 12 twist rate, I'm not getting a lot of elevation shift, and I'm not really, for the most part, getting a lot of left to right shift as I'm looking at this. Minus the Remington 150 grain, which that is a light load loaded out to, I don't know, I have to go look it up to see what its powder charge is. But with the 1 in 10 twist rate, when you start dipping into the lighter rounds, it's pushing the round down. So for me as a hunter, a lot of these groups weren't that good today, to be 100% honest with you. But for the channel that I commented on, you're looking at trying to build an AR-10 or do something. And it's SHTF or Prepared Citizen, the Big Bloom blew up, or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to recommend get a hold of an Excalibur and get you a 1 in 12 twist rate. Because kind of what I'm seeing with this right here is the 1 in 12 is holding okay marginal patterns. I don't think, except for my screw ups with the M80 ball today, and probably the screw up on the Remington UMC and the PPU, just throw it away. I haven't shot any PPU ammo that's worth the crap, be honest with you. But you're within military spec tolerances of whatever you're wanting to do. I'm wanting to say the Knight's armament only had to meet a 2 to 2.5 MOA or 2 to 2.5 inch group at 100 yards to pass. And we're pretty close to it without spending $5,000 to $1,000 on a gun. And plus you're also dropping in ammo that you can get just as tight as group, if not tighter groups out of. If you're interested, Excaliburs, who built my barrel, it's a one-off build. They're custom. You pay your money up front, and you're gonna wait a hot minute to get your barrel. Just to give you a heads up, I think it took 2 months after I ordered mine to get it in. So there you go. I hope this information helps. Like I said, if anybody comes from the other channel, Bear Independent, it was his channel I commented on. Sorry my guns made a liar out of me. Generally, they do things a little different. Maybe it's just me today shooting. I don't know. But there you go. That's what information I got to put out. If I start getting paychecks rolling back in again, I'll build up and get some more ammo built up. Right now, I'm just trying to hold on to what I got for deer season. So, and plus I got a couple of hog hunts I'm getting ready to try and make, and I got to get back out and start doing some more coyote hunting. So, trying to save money on ammo right now, not spend so much. So, you guys have a good one, and we will talk to y'all later. And like I said, if we're wrong, we'll admit we're wrong. Or if we have a day where we just look like crap, well, we're going to post it because there ain't no sense in lying about any of it. Y'all have a good one. Later.